Justin Champagnie is having about as good of a season as anyone could have hoped for him. Carolina's got to be prepared for him. This is a game that I feel like it's going to be pretty similar to the Iowa game earlier this year, in the fact that you're going to know going in, this is their best player. We've got to figure out a way to take him away. But there are other guys on this team that can beat you, and that's the thing that Carolina's got to be careful of. This is not a team that's going to get fazed by the fact that they, might be down in the game. They had 2 games this season where they didn't lead until the final seconds of the game and ended up winning, including a win on the road at Northwestern, which is a team that's ranked, plays in the Big Ten, and has had a good season of their own. So this is a much better Pittsburgh team than I think we thought in the preseason. So Carolina's got to be ready to go in this one. But look, this is, Carolina's, they're in their own group. They've definitely figured some things out. Caleb Love is playing really well. You would think coming into this game that he would potentially be able to continue that. Pittsburgh's a team that is not bad defensively, but they're not a great defensive team either. They're not, Virginia, who's going to be able to, slow you down with that pack line defense. So, again, the key in this game, as it is with just about every game, you've got to be able to take care of the ball. Don't give this team extra possessions, and you've got to be ready for what is going to be a tough battle, because this is, Champagnie, he's going to get his points, but you've got to be able to take away these other guys and protect against the three, because this team has their moments where they can shoot it from outside.
Yeah, you mentioned Justin Champagnie, and look, he's averaging 19 and 12. If he's not the player of the year in the ACC, they shouldn't give up the award anymore, because he's been the best player in the league. But a big part of their success outside of him is that the young guards that Pittsburgh has, Tony and Xavier Johnson, they're now juniors. They've grown into their bodies, and they've been in the league long enough to where they know how to play in this league and now, of course, win in the ACC. Tony's averaging 16 points, 7 rebounds from a guard. You love that. And then Xavier Johnson, 14.5 points, 4 rebounds, and 6 assists to a guy that can really do it all for the Panthers from the backcourt. And this is a team that lost Trey McGowan's, a guy that went to Nebraska, who I thought last year was really impressive in both wins over Carolina and really dominated the backcourt in both those matchups. This is going to be a really big test for Carolina coming off these 2 wins this week at home, because now you get a chance to go on the road and get really a marquee win. That's something that, you've won 5 out of 6, but you haven't went on the road and gotten a big-time win. You had a chance at Florida State, and look, they played about as well as you could expect them to play there and got beat. You didn't look good at Miami. You haven't looked good at, didn't look good at NC State. You didn't look good at Georgia Tech. You go on the road and you find a way to get a win, even though it's not going to be the same environment. For a team that's building confidence and getting more comfortable in themselves, this will go in a big step in the right direction for where this team is going to go in the long run. So anything else before we just go ahead and pick this game?
No, I think that if they win this game, would you not agree with me that they would probably be one of the 3 favorites to win the ACC regular season? Probably Virginia, Florida State, and Carolina. I think that would probably be the area that you would get yourself into. Now, if you lose this game, this isn't a nail in the coffin. You're not done. This isn't going to ruin your tournament chances. But this would be another really big win. I'm going to be honest with you. If they win this game, I think unless they just completely fall apart, this probably secures them a tournament spot. I would be shocked because, again, this team is good, not great, but you're stacking up wins on your resume now against some of these teams that you could potentially see on the bubble later on. And that'll go a long way to helping this team in the long run of making what is going to be just a crazy NCAA tournament that could be missing Duke, could be missing Kentucky, and you just don't know the possibilities of some of the other teams that could potentially miss out on the NCAA tournament.
Yeah, I'm with you. I think if Carolina wins, they put their name in the hat that they're going to be a factor in how the ACC race is going to wind down between what you would believe is going to be Virginia and Florida State, as Clemson's completely fallen off the face of the earth. We don't know a whole lot about Louisville right now. So I feel like,
Georgia Tech's a pipe dream. That's not happening.
So I feel like if Carolina wins, then that's a legitimate discussion about how this thing's going to unfold with Carolina. And, they get a return game with Florida State in the Smith Center later this year. Right. And, of course, they get to go to Virginia a little bit later this year as well. So I think my head says Pittsburgh wins, because I think, they're coming off a really bad, a really frustrating loss to Wake Forest. Jeff Capel is going to be in their butts. They're going to play better. But I'm starting to believe again in Carolina. I like what I saw the other day. I really like what I've seen from the second half of Wake Forest and then all day yesterday. And really the 5 out of 6, they've done the things I've asked them to do to win games. And I think it'll be like it's been in every game. I don't think they'll play their best game. I don't think they'll shoot north of 50% from the field. I don't think they'll kill them on the glass. I don't think they'll do all the little things they need to, that they have done to win. But I think they'll make the plays when they have to get a big-time win on the road.
Yeah, I'm going to pick Carolina in this game too because I mean, look, I think that that loss the other day against Wake Forest could be a motivator for them. I also feel like that's the type of loss for Pittsburgh that could really turn their season in the wrong direction if they're not careful. And I feel like that might be more of what that game signifies. I think that Carolina is going to be motivated about the fact that they lost both games last year to a Pitt team that last year was not a good basketball team. It wasn't that they were just, that they were continuing to progress and, Carolina got beat by a team on the rise. No, that wasn't at all what that was. So I think Carolina's going to come in motivated. Again, it's tough to go on the road. This is a team that struggled on the road. I think you're right. I think it's pretty much going to be a rock fight. This thing is probably going to be the first to 70 wins it. I don't think this is a high-scoring game. I don't think Carolina will probably come out and shoot great in this game. But I still think that Carolina does enough to win this game because I think that they know what we just talked about. If you win this game, you are in the hunt for the ACC regular season title. I mean, look, it's going to be a tough road because Virginia is undefeated in conference, even as much as they struggled a little bit out of the gate. They've really gotten themselves together. They're a much better offensive team. Florida State, how they're not ranked is blowing my mind. I don't understand how that team now 9-2 and with only one loss in the ACC is not ranked. But, I feel like Carolina knows that they can get back into that conversation, kind of where they were in the preseason. And I think that they're going to be motivated and they'll come out and find a way to win.
There you go. So both me and Anthony got Carolina winning what feels like a very pivotal game for the ACC race moving forward. Before we let you go, talk to you about the website, HeelToughBlog.com. Get over there to the HeelToughBlog.com to get all your latest on the Carolina football and basketball news and nuggets as we are in full-blown basketball season. But Anthony still's got some football articles that'll be up there on the site as well as me and Mark take you through the remainder of the basketball season. And last, we encourage you guys to rate, review, and subscribe to the podcast. You can find us on every major podcasting platform, most notably Spreaker, iTunes, iHeartRadio, Spotify, TuneIn, Google Podcasts. Give us a like, give us a review, but we want you to subscribe that we get every podcast in your podcast feed. Well, with that, thank Anthony for taking time out of his NFL Championship Sunday, talk a little Carolina basketball. We want to thank you guys for listening, and as always, go Tar Heels.